one of two books that I gave 1 star to in 2018. We're not going to touch it with a 6-foot pole. We are socially distancing from J.K. Rowling. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, this is Coffee Books and Bullet Journals, and today it is time for an anti-haul. So an anti-haul is really big in the beauty community, and it's kind of made its way around to BookTube. Basically what it is it's talking about all of the different things that, like, at least in the beauty community, like all of the different makeups and things like that people are not going to be buying. So for books, it is the new releases that I'm just not interested in for one reason or another. So I don't have release dates for any of these because, like I said, I don't really care. They're not books that I'm going to be buying. There might be 1 or 2 on this list that if I do see some good reviews, I may possibly pick it up from the library, but I don't foresee myself purchasing these books. I don't foresee myself, pre-ordering or anything like that. These are definitely ones that at the very least I will be looking at reviews pretty critically before considering buying them. So these are in no particular order, just because, again, I don't know the release dates for them. But the first one is The Kingdom of the Wicked, something like that, by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the same author that did the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which was one of 2 books that I gave 1 star to in 2018. I did not enjoy that book, and it wasn't just like the fact that it was historical. I just didn't like the writing. I mean, I know that it's a super popular series and a lot of people really love her and her writing. It's just not one that I'm that interested in, and but again, one that, like, if everyone's loving it, maybe. Same with In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I actually do have an ARC of this one. I was given an e-ARC of it, and here's the thing with Christina Lauren. They are either really, really good or kind of terrible. So I'm curious, because I know that the past couple ones that they've written have not been great. So I'm thinking maybe this one might be. This one is basically like Groundhog Day, but at Christmas, and it really just sounds like a Hallmark movie. Let's be 100% honest. However, like I said, I'm going to read this one as an e-ARC that I have, but I do not have high expectations for it at all. Alright, another one that I'm definitely going to want to see the reviews for is How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. So this is kind of a prequel to The Cruel Prince, and kind of the story of, like, childhood Cardan, which I'm all for. I don't know, like, this just screams cash grab to me, and that's what I'm afraid that it's going to be, because the Folk of the Air, I don't know what the series is called, it's so beloved and almost like this, like, it has this almost cult following to it, essentially. I'm afraid that this is going to just become like a cash grab, and this is just something that she's putting out there in order to, like, basically get more money from that following. Kind of like A Court of Frost and Starlight. Is that the one? The novella that Sarah J. Maas put out a couple years ago. And that was totally a cash grab. So I'm afraid that that's what this is going to be as well. So I'm definitely not pre-ordering it. And if it is good, like if the reviews come back really positive, then I'll look into getting it. But I'm not going to be one of the first ones in line for it. Okay, the next one is a pretty controversial one also. And that is Crazy Stupid Bromance. I can't remember the author's name. But for some reason, I just have not wanted to get into this series. And I don't know if it was just because, like, at the time that the first one came out, I just wasn't in the headspace to really be able to read that trope of, like, married couples already getting back together. It just wasn't something I could do. And I just like since then have not wanted to read anything in that series. So again, I know that this is a super popular book series and I'm sure there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that like me and my headspace, it doesn't work. All right, the next one is a pretty controversial one. I guess they're all really controversial, I'm not gonna lie. And that is Well Played by Jen DeLuca. Well Met was a pretty beloved book last year on BookTube, and it made my worst books of the year list. Like, pretty high up there. And yeah, didn't enjoy it at all. Well Played seems to have like a really convoluted plotline. I don't know really what it's about. I know it has this like fake identity trope or something like that. I don't know. I didn't like Well Met, and so I don't want to go back to that world. All right, the next one is One by One by Ruth Ware. Everyone says that Ruth Ware gets better and better and better, but after reading The Turn of the Key and really not liking it and being kind of just underwhelmed, I guess, is the answer to that. I just think that Ruth Ware is not the author for me, and so because of that, I'm gonna probably skip on this one. I honestly don't even know what it's about, but I have heard a ton of people talking about it, like in anticipation for it. If I would have liked The Turn of the Key, this probably would not be on this list. If it was something that, like, I really enjoyed that book, then I'd be like, yeah, her writing's getting better and I can get on board. But because I was so underwhelmed by that book, I'm just not really excited for her new one. Okay, I thought this one had already come out, but I guess not. Goodreads is saying it comes out on September 1st, so I guess not. But the next one is Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli. This is part of like the Simonverse universe. The Simonverse is the Homo sapiens agenda. You know what I'm talking about. This is kind of a novella or a story within it, within that universe. And I read Simon back in 2018, right at the start of my BookTube time. I did like Yes, No, Maybe So, which is the book that she co-wrote, but I'm just not really interested in going back to the Simonverse. All right, and then we're gonna end on the last one that's pretty obvious. This is a middle grade book called The Ichabod by our lovely friend J.K. Rowling. And for obvious reasons, I'm not going to be picking this book up. Just saying. For obvious reasons. I don't need to talk about this much. You know my stance on this author. If not, I will link my coffee talk on problematic authors and our responsibility as reviewers up in the corner there. You can check it out for yourself, but I will not be supporting this author. I have no idea what this book is about. I know it's middle grade, but we're not going there. We're not going to touch it with a 6-foot pole. We are socially distancing from J.K. Rowling. Okay, anyways, those are the books that I'm just not really that interested in picking up by the end of the year. Now, of course, there are way more books that I actually am interested in picking up, and I will be doing a 4th quarter anticipated releases sometime in September. I usually try to do it like the month before the quarter starts for like the next 3 months. That makes sense, yeah. But there are so many at the end of the year. Like, my wallet is going to be hurting, so it's okay that there are a few that I'm not really excited about. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there is a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the other links to my social media will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. What makes this heart beat faster?